Hello, I'm Alicia Davis,
And I'm Stacy Watson.
and we are co-owners and executive coaches at Transformative Leadership Strategies. And we are also the founders and creators of the Women's Leadership Experience, a 6-month coaching program for women leaders. And we have one of our amazing participants in our first cohort of WLE, as we lovingly call it, Sharon, who's with us
Yay.
today.
Welcome,
Thank you.
Sharon.
Hi, good morning. Thank you so much for having me. I'm delighted to be here and talk to you about your program. I loved it and I love you guys and I'm really happy to be here. So thanks for inviting me.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
Well,
thank
we're
you.
just super, super
Feelings are
happy to have you.
mutual. Yes.
Exactly. Exactly. So for the program, Sharon, like what challenge were you having or what motivated you to join the Women's Leadership Experience?
So I am a director of a program that works with service youth and families, and I have about 12 staff. And I feel very confident in my abilities to um, manage the business side of what I do, but
Mm,
I was struggling a little bit just with staffing issues.
Mm,
And I wanted to really become more confident in my abilities to deal with issues that came up with my staff. And just to be a better leader in general, I really wanted to, and I really want to continue to today, to be sort of a mentor to them and not really a boss, but more
sure.
a person they could come to when they have problems, and that they feel comfortable coming to me, and that I feel comfortable, saying tough stuff when tough stuff needs.
right.
Mm, yeah,
Yeah, Sharon, it's so interesting. So many women that come through the program are in various steps or stages of their career. And that word confidence is one that seems to be pretty consistent, whether it's confidence in dealing with employees or confidence dealing with the boss or confidence dealing with the spreadsheets or whatever it may be. I think that's just a common theme. So
Yeah.
awesome.
Well, yeah, and it's really about, we can all have different levels of confidence. And then when we start doing something new or we go into a new role, then we should kind of just expand even more, right? Because
Absolutely.
we can always grow in our confidence.
Right. Right.
Yes. So Sharon, so you went through the program. So what was your experience of being in the program? What do you remember from that experience?
Well, what really stands out for me about the experience was that I got something I wasn't expecting. Right. So I stepped into this program really expecting I really wanted concrete answers. Like, how do I deal with person X when they come to me with problem Y? And I got those answers, but I also just got this enormous amount of personal growth at the same time.
Mm,
So,
Mm,
one of the first things that you guys asked or had one of the first activities we did, and this stands out, and I will forever tell this story, was a values list. And you
mhm,
asked us to take a look at our values and which values were important to us, and were we living in those values. And I've been doing this work for a long time, and
mhm,
I no one's ever asked me that question before, and I don't think I've
mm,
ever even asked myself. And so when I really sat back and did that thoughtfully, at first I was like, oh gosh, what is this? Like, why aren't we talking about, I want to know how to deal with person X? And so when I really sat back and did the activities and put my whole heart into it, it was just amazing, the transformation that came about for me as a
mm.
person.
mm.
That's
It's,
amazing.
it really is,
So
and
inspiring.
it's so interesting, Sharon. We hear that all the time because core values and core needs are what we often start with as coaches, whether it's with an
For sure.
individual person or whether like what we did in the Women's Leadership Experience program, because they're so foundational.
Mhm.
And we don't often take the time to
No, we
even kind of
don't.
step back or reflect. We might already be living them, but we don't
Right.
necessarily take the time to say, oh yeah, this is a value that's really important to me and I'm going to show up that way as a leader and in my interactions with the people that I'm supporting every day,
Right.
right?
And I think if someone had asked me, not the way you guys asked me, but if someone had, or even if I asked myself, like, what are my values, I could probably list them you know what I mean? I don't know, the way that you all presented it and the way that we did it, it really, it's just really made a difference for me
Mm.
in my personal life and my professional life.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
it's really being able to sort of own them in a very intentional way, I think is what I'm hearing you say. And there is a lot of power in that, for
That's
Absolutely.
sure.
right. That's right. And actually, I'm curious, Sharon, what was your experience? You know, because we had a cohort of, I think in our group, we had about 12 or 15 women. I'm just curious what your experience was like being in that group of other women leaders going through this program. Because, you know, part of it was the group interaction, and then also there's the one-on-one coaching. And you and I happened to be your coach for the time that we were together in this cohort. So I'm just curious what it was like to be with those other women leaders in the program.
So it was a couple of things. It first was very gratifying and very validating because I found that I wasn't the only one, right? So oftentimes, I think women leaders feel like they're supposed to present a certain way, but inside it's, you know, they're struggling a little bit with the confidence or whatever it might be. But so when you brought us all together, I realized like, oh, I'm not the only one that's having these thoughts or these concerns or these struggles. Excuse me, there's other people that are feeling and doing and experiencing the same things as I am. And it was just a great opportunity to talk about it. And I made some really good connections in that group.
Cool.
Yeah,
Awesome.
That's
yeah.
Great.
awesome. Yeah.
Great. And you know, you already told us a little bit about how the program made a difference in your leadership. So I'm curious, you said you actually got the answer there, or the approach about how to deal with the X person in the Y situation, or however you said that. What I'm just curious if there's any other ways that the program made a difference in your leadership.
Oh, absolutely. In my individual sessions with you, Alicia, we really, that's where we kind of dug into the nitty gritties of what was going on with me and my job here. And so you were very helpful in helping me sort of sort out what I needed to sort out and giving me tools and giving me direction and sort of how to like navigate those waters. And um, I think also though, it's just like learning about myself personally just helped me show up as a better leader.
Yes.
Mm,
And and so I noticed it, right? But my staff noticed it too because they came to
mm,
me, not all of them, but some of them have come to me and said, Sharon, you know, like, you know, you're just doing, I don't say you're doing a really great job, but they're like, something's changed about you. Like we recognize it. And you know, we appreciate you being there for us. And that is huge. Like that's validation right
Oh
there.
my gosh, that's so powerful. Absolutely. And it really demonstrates how, we are all in these various communities, right? And we really do affect each other. So when we can be our most authentic selves and really be connected to who we are and show up with our values and all of that, people gravitate to that. I mean, it makes perfect sense. So that's wonderful.
Thank you.
So, Sharon, I guess at the end of the day, we would just love to hear if you would recommend the program to other women, and if so, why?
Well, 100%. I already did recommended it to one of my staff, and she should be joining in the next cohort. So
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
Yay!
Yay. Thank you.
oh, you're welcome. It's my pleasure, and she's gonna love it. She is so excited too. She's so excited.
That's so
Woo.
great.
And why would I? I mean, I would shout it from the rooftops because I feel like there's so much personal growth that can come from it, and that will trickle down into your professional growth as well. So and the way that the both of you present it, it doesn't feel like I need personal growth. Like you're never saying like you need to do this or you need to do that. It just happens, and it happens very naturally. And so I love the timeline and the way that you both present your material. It worked perfectly for me. I think it would.
That's wonderful.
Thank you,
Sharon.
Sharon. Thank you so much. You know what? We love the little emoticons on Zoom. I'm giving you a big heart. Thank you so much for
And I'm throwing
being,
a party for
all
just
right.
how
All right.
much you enjoyed your experience, which means all the world to us.
And how much you contributed in our very first cohort. And we just love having you as part of our women's leadership experience community and our
Absolutely.
bigger circle of women's community. So thank you, Sharon.
You're
Talk
Thank
to
you,
you
welcome.
soon.
Sharon.
Thank you.
Bye.
See you soon.